Today we're going to read The Littlest Train by Chris Gall. The Littlest Train. In a small room, down a short flight of stairs, there lived a little train. He spent his days circling a tiny town. It was the only neighborhood he had ever known. One day, the ground shook and a shadow appeared overhead. It could only mean one thing. Mr. Fingers was back in town. This time, Mr. Fingers knocked over the crane, which bumped the train, who fell down, 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 and into a brand new world. The little train spotted a tunnel. It was time to explore. The world beyond seemed vast and strange, until the little train spotted something familiar in the distance. It was the biggest train he had ever seen. Mighty Max steamed up and offered a ride. "Hey there, little one," he rumbled. "When my 100 tons really get rolling, I can show you some sights." They thundered off together with the wind in their smokestacks. Around the bend, Chloe Coggs chugged up and offered to carry the little train to the top of the world. "Come with me, little train," she said. "I've got 32 teeth on my gears, and I never slip back. I'll take you to a place where you can see forever." Forever looked wonderful, but the little train realized there's one thing he could not see: his home. Luckily, Sarah Speedster was nearby. "Hop in," she said. "At 150 miles per hour, we'll get you home lightning quick." Sarah Speedster raced as far and as fast as she could, but everything zoomed by in a blur, and the little train could not spot his home. By the time they arrived at the switching yard, the sun was getting low. Mr. Fingers would surely have noticed that the little train was missing. Farley Freighter had an idea. He traveled far and wide to deliver goods, so he knew a place where little trains lived. "All aboard," he whistled. Finally, the little train did not feel so little anymore. But he had no tracks, no trees, and no table. He missed his new friends. Then the little train saw a familiar shadow. Mr. Fingers! The little train was finally home. Mr. Fingers had been busy, and there was a brand new town to explore. And it was so much more fun to be exploring with friends. Alright guys, thank you so much for reading The Littlest Train with us. Now before we go, here are some really fun facts about trains that we didn't talk about in the book. Alright, the first one are bullet trains. They're the fastest and safest trains in the world. They run on electricity, and some even have no wheels at all, instead gliding on powerful magnets. The world record for the top speed is 374 miles per hour. The next are cog railway engines. Cog railway engines are made to climb steep mountains and use heavy wheels with teeth that latch onto special middle rail. The first was built to climb Mount Washington in New Hampshire in 1869, and you know it still runs today. The next are commuter trains. Commuter trains move millions of people from their homes to their jobs, schools, and other places every single day, which can save a great amount of gasoline and keeps cars from clogging up our roads. The next are freight trains. Freight trains are the most efficient way to transport heavy goods. The longest freight trains can be 3.4 miles long and weigh 15,000 tons and need as many as 9 engines to move down the rails. Next, we have rotary snowplow trains. Now, rotary snowplow trains have huge spinning blades on the nose of the train that can shoot through 12 feet of snow on the tracks and throw it 100 feet to the side. They're mostly used during heavy blizzards. Now, we have steam locomotives. And steam locomotives, they burn coal, wood, or oil to, you guessed it, make steam from water inside of a boiler. The steam pushes pistons connected to main wheels, in which makes them turn. As cleaner, more efficient trains were developed, these trains were mainly phased out in the late 1950s. All right, next we have switch engines. Now, switch engines are used in railway yards in order to move and sort cars by type, content, company, or destination. Rail yards have many tracks laid side by side in order to keep out-of-service cars off the main line. And last but not least, we have my favorite, toy trains. Now, toy trains can be made of wood, plastic, or even metal. The earliest versions were made from lead and had no moving parts, and later models ran on electricity. The littlest train is powered only by our imaginations. Thank you guys so much. The end.